Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here with yet another One Piece chapter reaction and review. We actually got an early chapter this week on a Thursday instead of the normal Friday. So, works best for me because hopefully we get to find out who that guy was on the bridge that not only took Zoro's Shusui, but also, hopefully we get to see Zoro fight somebody, finally. So, let's go ahead and move on to chapter 937. Where is it? Oh, we got a nice cover page of all the Straw Hats just sitting on what looks like to be like a captain's office or like a captain's cabin. It has a white background, but we see everybody just chilling with Treasure, Nami sitting with... They're all sitting with different birds, like Blue Monkey with Luffy. Then we got a toucan with Robin. Then we got a parrot with both Frankie and Nami. And then everyone else is just chilling. One Piece planning new adventures. It's a very nice image. Alright, chapter 937. Gyukimaru on Oihagi Bridge. Gyukimaru on Oihagi Bridge. A long voyage for the sake of food. Wano country en route to Udon from Kuri. Mama, mama!
Oh, you look like Oshiriko too, don't you, little Tama? I do, it's delicious. Just the thought of the red bean sweetness spreading through my mouth. I know, the mochi's smooth texture reminds me of that of a frog's eye. That's pretty scary, Olin.
And then we have Chopper, who's just silent. And because the fact that he has a Yonko behind his back is like scary to him. And the only reason why I'm able to have the camera facing me, like have it attached to my laptop and facing directly ahead of me, is because it's so dark and gloomy outside. It is literally so dark right now that it hasn't become bright enough for that light in the back to, you know, cause my camera to mess up. So I'm going to take advantage of that.
Ha ha ha! You think so? Well, I'm so hungry. I can't wait to eat some more Oshiriko.
Or Shiruko. Oh, Shiruko. She's pretty obsessed with Oshiriko, isn't she? And then we have Chopper just thinking about,
if she somehow recovers her memories once she realizes there isn't any Oshiriko, then Luffy will be the one in danger instead.
Udon, prisoner mine. Another loss. Now the pleasures have been wiped out too. Looks like Luffy is just doing some work. He's baby clapping everybody who enters into the ring. I think he's just using his conqueror's haki. Now the pleasures have been wiped out too. And all of them are knocked out. Did I do it wrong again? Rayleigh was able to deflect an elephant's attack without even touching it. His movements were much lighter. Rayleigh? Rayleigh? Oh, does Hyugoro know Rayleigh? And also, is Luffy trying to do what Rayleigh did and use his haki to even beat people without even touching them? Rayleigh? Straw Hat Man, who exactly are you? It's just like wearing an invisible suit of armor. The haki he showed me at the beginning of my training, it was so advanced. If only I could use it. Yo! Is Luffy trying to learn how to use his haki the way Rayleigh does? Yo! You're a tough one, Straw Hat. If you had let me handle this, the execution would be over already, Queen. And Queen is just chilling in the back. What's the fun in that? The length of time and number of fighters are the most exciting things in a battle. Why am I sounding like Mr. Popo from Team 4 Star's Dragon Ball Abridged? Bring another bowl! Yes, sir! How many bowls of Oshiriko is he going to eat? You fool! Oshiriko is almost as important to me as the air I breathe. I brought a bunch of it with me, but no one else is allowed to eat it. It's my favorite. We gonna have some issues if Big Mom shows up and she smells that Oshiriko. Next, says Luffy, Wano Country Ringo Oihagi Bridge Highway Robbery Bridge. Do not lie to me. How dare you say you met Ryuma? Well, the soul itself was slightly different, but what a pitiful lie. The samurai named Ryuma died centuries ago. Legend says he was able to cut down anybody he faced in an instant. He was an undefeated swordsman. And we finally found out his name. Highway robber, warrior monk, Gyukimaru. A man like you could never know the true value of shusui. And he tries to use like a halberd to slice at him. Slice at Zoro, but Zoro dodges it. Long ago, back when, the Wano country was known as the country of gold. Gold? There were so many pirates who wanted it all for themselves, and so many nobles who wanted to bring this place under their control. There was an infinite line of enemies from the outside world, but Ryuma was the man who showed the world that the Wano country's samurai were capable. Ryuma was the man who showed the world what Wano country's samurai were capable of. The tale in which he slayed a dragon that appeared from the sky is only one of the many legends about the great swordsman Ryuma. Thank you. I was so hoping we would get to learn more about Ryuma, which is what I said in my last chapter, in my last reaction. So I'm glad we're actually getting some more about him now. After his death, he was bestowed with the title of Sword God, and was buried with the world-renowned blade Shusui. Those two are the national treasures of the Wano country. I see, so that's how it is. But that has nothing to do with me. You will return Shusui to me. I hate when I don't have 3 swords. Huh. It seems I overestimated you. Shusui is a black blade. It became one after its many battles alongside Ryuma. A spineless brat like you has no right to this sword just because you want it. Huh? Became one? It became a black sword? Now that he's mentioned it, I've always been curious about that. Hey, that black sword thing you've been talking about, is it... And then we have someone screaming in the background.
Yeah! Someone help! Someone please help us!
Huh? You left an opening, which Zoro blocks, but it shows like it did catch him by surprise because he was distracted. You jerk, don't attack me while I'm distracted! Finding an opening is what leads to victory in a battle. That is why I always wait for that opportunity.
Someone please help us, our lives are in danger.
Oh snap! A woman and a child? It's Toko!
Ah, they're samurai. Hey, please help us.
Wait a minute. Please, I beg of you, brave swordsman. Hey, I can't tell if you're joking or being serious. Be consistent. And there's blood on the woman's arm. Is that Komurasaki? Or is that blood coming from Otoko? Or from Toko? Blood? They probably aren't joking around. And then Gyukimaru jumps at him. No, there's someone behind him.
Spin, spin.
And who is this? Men! Huh? Wait just a moment. Wait, who is this? Who is this? Someone manages to jump in front. I thought it was Zoro, but no, that's not even Gyukimaru who did that. Someone else jumped in front of whoever this person is. Is that Komurasaki? Jumped in front of Toko and the other lady and blocks this blade from this dude using scythes. Men! Huh? Wait just a moment. And it's inches away from the lady's face. No, wait! No, it was Zoro. That was Zoro. That was Zoro who blocked it. You're wide open again. Hey, can't you read the mood, you jerk? Have you forgotten about our battle? I'll get to that in a second. Another weird guy is here. Fa 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 fa. Is this another weird laughing character? Fa 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 fa. You there, you're that criminal Zorojiro, aren't you? Why are you trying to save those women? And woman, why are you trying to save that child? A wanted criminal from the flower capital, Kamazo the Manslayer. Yo, this is Kamazo? Yo! Who he? My target is that jester in your arms. I'm here only for that child. Jester? And Toko's just laughing it up. You are Kamazo the Manslayer. You're famous in the capital for murdering indiscriminately, but you're actually Orochi's trained assassin that's just using that as a ruse, right? Nobody else would want to kill Otoko. How dare you address the Shogun so impolitely? I should be the one asking who you are. Fa fa. Please help us, Lord Samurai. I will repay you in any way I can. Well, I don't really want to see a woman and child get killed right in front of me. I'll help you if you give me some booze and food afterwards. Of course! Alright, it's a deal then. Yo, is Zoro about to fight Kamazo? And I see that light starting to perk up. Let's keep going. Go ahead and try. I don't care who interferes, because I was ordered to kill anyone who stands in my way. Killing someone who serves under that guy is gonna cause some problems later, but you don't need to worry. You don't need to worry because... Oh, you don't need to worry because you will be the one who dies. And as he slashes at Zoro, he dodges, and Zoro straight up fighting Kamazo. This guy is strong. Yo, are you finally going to fight seriously? Yo, he throws off his coat, and both Kamazo and Zoro start going at it. And Gyukimaru's just still chilling in the background. He's not saying anything, but he still tries to swipe at Zoro. You're wide open. And he just narrowly... Yo! Zoro got stabbed! Kamazo got him! Right in the shoulder! That looks like it went straight through his stomach. Jet's already been fed. Good morning. Zoro got stabbed. And there's... Oh, yo. And he's dripping blood. And as he tries to go back in for another kill... Oh, no. No, as Kamazo tries to go in for another kill, he notices that his sickle is stuck in his shoulder. Huh? It's stuck. Then Zoro glares at him with a smile in his face. And he tries to swipe at him. I'll just make do with this then. And then he takes the sickle out of his shoulder and sticks it in his mouth. 3 sword style? 3 swords? Rengoku Onigiri. And he uses Kamazo's own scythe with his own swords to cut him up. A righteous strike. Chapter 937. End. Purgatory Ogre Cutter. Yo! Is that the end of the chapter? Yo, that's the end of the chapter! Yo! We finally got a glimpse of Zoro being Zoro. Just straight up saving what could be Komurasaki Because where else could the blood be coming from? But then again, I could be very wrong. And it could just be that this person that's carrying Toko and that was running away from Kamazo was actually injured by him. And that's where the blood is coming from. So, first we got Big Mom. This is the end of the chapter, but let's go from the beginning. This was a very good chapter because Zoro. Woo! So, we got Big Mom at the beginning of the chapter riding on the shark crocodile with Chopper making their way towards Udon in order to, free Luffy. And she still got her mind set on the Oshiruko, which is, I guess, the dumpling type food. I don't know what it is, but I'll look it up later. And as they're making the way there, we cut back to the mine where Luffy is pretty much decimating everyone who comes into the ring. And he's trying to remember how Rayleigh showed him what Haki was. And how back then, during their introduction to his training in Haki, Rayleigh was able to deflect and knock over a giant elephant using nothing but Haki and not even touch him. So Luffy is trying to remember how Rayleigh did this. So could this be another moment where Luffy is trying to unlock more ways to use his Haki and try and use it like Rayleigh? And it appears that Hyugoto seems to recognize the name Rayleigh because he's saying, "Rayleigh, Straw Hat Man, who are you exactly?" Because I feel like Hyugoto knows who Rayleigh is, or at least heard of him. So as that's going on, we find out that Queen is just sitting up there enjoying some Oshiruko himself, saying that he bought a bunch of it with him and he's going to enjoy them all for himself. No one else can eat it, which is going to present a problem when Big Mom makes her way there, because that seems to be the only food that Big Mom has been thinking about since she has lost her memory and actually got fed some from Kuri. And now that they're making their way to Udon Prison, chaos is gonna break out as soon as she sees that food. And if she can't have that food, we know what happens to her. She goes on a mad hunger pang attack, and no one can stop her unless she eats what she is craving. Queen is not ready for the invincible tank that is Big Mom. So, as that's going on, Zoro is fighting who we now find out is called the, hold on, let me go back. His name is Highway Robber Warrior Monk Gyukimaru. And he tells us a little bit of the exploits of Ryuma and how both Ryuma and his sword Shusui are the two national treasures of Wano. And one interesting thing that came up was the fact that his sword Shusui became a black blade. So, apparently something happened for the sword to become the black sword that it is now. And this has obviously become Zoro's interest because he's trying to find out how did his sword become that way, because he says he's been wondering about this for a while now. But every time Zoro's trying to talk to him, Gyukimaru keeps trying to, hurt him in some way. And he keeps saying, "You left yourself wide open," and Zoro's all like, "Stop I'm distracted right now. Stop trying to hit me while I'm distracted." Because in the distance, we have a woman who's carrying Otoko in her arms, who's, still laughing her head off. And they're running away from someone who turns out to be Kamazo, the manslayer himself. The famous manslayer that we read about in chapters ago said that he was out in the flower capital still killing people. And we find out that he's not just a manslayer and an indiscriminate serial killer, but he is also Orochi's top assassin who he sends out in order to kill people, but he uses the manslayer serial killer title as a ruse in order to keep his real role as Orochi's personal assassin under wraps. So, we find out that he's been sent to kill Otoko. Not the woman that's carrying Otoko, but to kill Otoko himself, because apparently Orochi's still offended that someone laughed at him. That dude is petty and childish. Also, we learned that Kamazo has a unique laugh. Fa 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 fa. Kind of reminds me of Fox's, fe 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 fe. So, we got another fa fe laugh in the One Piece world now. So, as that's going on, he starts Zoro was like, well, if you give me some food and booze, then I'll protect you. Because the lady who's carrying the toko is all like, if you please protect us and we'll reward you afterwards. And he's all like, give me some food and give me some drink and I'll protect, and I'll go ahead and fight for you. She says, of course we will. Then he says, all right, we got a deal. Then he starts fighting Kamazo. And Zoro himself says that Kamazo is strong. So whenever Zoro says that a person is strong, trust and believe they are strong. As the fight goes on, Gyuki finds a moment to distract Zoro, and in this moment, he also, Kamazo lands a blow on Zoro's right shoulder, and it really impairs him for a moment, and until Kamazo notices that it gets stuck in his shoulder. And this is when Zoro gives his, like, you know, death glare, you know, like, and still has Kamazo's sickle stuck in his shoulder. He takes it out, puts it in his mouth because he doesn't have Shusui, and he said himself he hates not being able to use 3 swords. So he takes the sickle out of his shoulder, he puts it in his mouth, and then in an instant he uses Purgatory Onigiri and just slashes Kamazo, and it looks like it's gonna put him out of commission. And note during this time, Gyukimaru is just watching. So maybe he's starting to see, hopefully, he'll start to get a feel of how Zoro is as a person just from watching this. And maybe him and Zoro can finally talk some more. Maybe we can get some more info on Ryuma. That's what I'm hoping for. And what else happens? That's pretty much it. I mean, the main takeaway from this is that we start to see Zoro fighting again. So that's good. I've been looking forward to a chapter where we finally get to see him fighting. And we get to see him in top form. And he already wrecks Orochi's top assassin. In Kamazo's first appearance, he's already out of commission. That is something. This is the first time we finally see Kamazo the Manslayer, and he gets one-shotted in his first chapter he's introduced in. So, yeah, Zoro ain't playing around. So hopefully Gyukimaru gets to see the type of person that Zoro is. He can finally give Shusui back to him, and maybe they can talk things out and he can go back to being the 3-sword style pirate hunter Zoro that he's known for. But overall, I thought this was a good chapter. I mean, come on. Seeing Zoro fight anybody makes it a good chapter. I thought it was a very good chapter. I'm very surprised that we managed to get a chapter on Thursday, but I will not complain because that means I get to rest on Friday because I am off tomorrow. Get to rest on Friday, but that's also when we start our Sekiro Shadows Die Twice playthrough, so I can't wait to see you there. But this was a good chapter. Let me know what you thought of this chapter as a whole. I was surprised by this chapter, but, you know, seeing more Zoro do his thing is just always a good thing. So I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of this chapter as a whole. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What were you expecting from this chapter? Did this chapter deliver for you on this day? So hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in the next video. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples!